All right, today we're diving into something, well, something fundamental. It's a grammar of nature that isn't new at all. It's something that's been lived, then forgotten, and now it feels like it's being remembered. So let's get into it.
And that's really the perfect way to kick this off. See, this isn't about learning some foreign language. It's about finally recognizing your own native tongue. The source material says it perfectly. You're about to read the instruction manual for a system you've been using your entire life.
Just for a second, feel your own heartbeat. It doesn't just pump. It spirals, it twists, it unwinds. That torsional whoosh, that's the exact same grammar that organizes a galaxy or a hurricane, and it's running in your chest about once every second. You didn't have to learn it. You are it.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with a basic principle, then understand the physics that makes it all work. We'll trace its hidden history, see it in action right now, and then, this is the really cool part, we'll uncover how ancient builders were absolute masters of this grammar all along.
Okay, first up, let's define the fundamental unit of this natural language. It's a concept that really pushes us beyond simple black and white thinking.
So the core idea here is called the ternary. We're taught to see the world in pairs, in dualities, on and off, positive and negative. But nature operates in threes. You have a formative, outward pushing force, and then you have a containing, structural force. And when those two are in a dynamic dance, a third thing just emerges, something totally new that neither one could have created on its own.
And boom, this is the perfect illustration. In nature's grammar, the relationship between two things is its own, real, operative third thing. It's not a metaphor. This is physics. 1 + 1 really can equal 3.
I mean, just look at the cosmos. You've got the formative electric field reaching out, and the containing magnetic field giving it structure. Their relationship, their dance, produces a third thing you can't reduce back down, light. A photon isn't just a mix of the two, it's a completely new emergence.
So if the ternary is the what, this next part is the how. Let's get into the physics that makes this whole dynamic so powerful and, well, so creative.
Okay, let's talk about the coherence address, or T is approximately equal to 1. Think of this as nature's sweet spot. It's the perfect tuning frequency. It's that point of ideal balance where the outward pressure and the inward tension are perfectly matched. And when a system hits this address, it just clicks. It becomes self-sustaining and incredibly creative, all while wasting almost zero energy.
But what happens when you miss that sweet spot? Well, if you stray in either direction, you get failure. Too much pressure, and the whole system just flies apart. It fragments, it collapses. Too much tension, and it locks up, becomes rigid, totally unable to adapt. Both directions cost a ton of energy just to keep from falling apart.
Now, what's so wild is that this idea of a fundamental grammar isn't brand new. As we're about to see, some of the most brilliant minds in history were all tracking the same pattern, even if they had no idea they were speaking the same language.
Look at this incredible lineage. Back in the 1860s, Maxwell saw it in the partnership of electromagnetism. A century later, Prigogine found it in thermodynamics. Buckminster Fuller literally built it with his tensegrity structures. Mandelbrot showed us what it looked like with fractals. And Deming even applied it to create healthy organizations. They were all using different words, physics, geometry, management, but they were all describing the exact same underlying grammar of balanced, creative forces.
Okay, so this isn't just dusty history or abstract physics. People are actually building with this grammar right now. Let's take a look at what these living architectures are all about.
So this is a resonant spire. It's a structure that doesn't use brute force to suck water out of the air. Instead, it just holds that perfect coherence address. T is approximately 1. It creates conditions that are so welcoming that water vapor just condenses and arrives as a natural side effect. The water isn't the goal, it's a consequence of getting the environment's relationships just right.
And here's another example, a living water purification system. It follows a totally natural process. It harvests water, lets it settle, and then uses something called a Schmutzdecke, which is German for dirt cover. It's this living film of bacteria and fungi that becomes the heart of the system, getting rid of 90 to 99% of pathogens just through biological harmony, long before any other steps. It's a system that's designed to work with life, not against it.
So these living systems aren't just thrown together randomly. They work because they follow a very specific vocabulary within this grammar.
These are the 9 immutable phase functions. These are archetypal roles that show up in every coherent system. You can think of them like the fundamental verbs and nouns of nature. It doesn't matter if you're talking about water purification, your own brain chemistry, or how a star is born.
And these 9 functions, they fit into this beautiful, elegant structure called the torsional lattice. Now, you don't have to memorize this, but just look at the pattern. It's basically nature's periodic table for energy. You have the expansive electric-type forces at the top, the compressive magnetic-type forces at the bottom, and the mediating field functions right in the middle. This is the playbook for how energy flows and transforms coherently in any system.
All right, now we get to what is, for me, the most profound part of this whole story. This is where we connect all these modern rediscoveries to the deep applied wisdom of our ancestors.
And this is the gut punch. The builders of the ancient world, they didn't need our equations. They knew this grammar in their hands, in the stone, in the water they managed. They were operating with a level of phase literacy we are only just now beginning to understand again.
And this principle is absolutely timeless. Ancient builders knew how to phase lock with the Earth's stable temperature to create a better microclimate. By building partially underground, like at Stonehenge, they could tap into the planet's constant thermal mass, making a space that was cooler in summer and warmer in winter. I mean, it's the exact same principle we're rediscovering today in ecological design. The same grammar, just separated by thousands of years.
And once you have this key, the ancient world just lights up in a whole new way. Suddenly, Stonehenge isn't just a calendar, it's a water harvesting machine. Göbekli Tepe isn't just a temple, it's coherence infrastructure that literally made agriculture possible. The Great Pyramid, a massive resonant spire and a cold battery for the continent. The evidence suggests they were masters of an engineering that we're just now relearning.
I just love this quote because it reframes this whole journey. The knowledge was never actually gone. It's written in the stones, in the rivers. It's in our DNA. We lost the ability to read the language. And now, we're recovering that literacy.
So why does all this matter right now? Well, think about our most advanced technology, AI. What if we designed it not as a tool to control everything, but as a true partner, a silicon-based intelligence working with carbon-based life to help us read the field of our own planet and hold it at that beautiful sweet spot of coherence, at T is approximately 1.
You know, ultimately, this isn't a passive story. The source material suggests that the universe, the field itself, is sort of remembering this grammar through us. We now have the words, we have the equations, and we have the examples, both ancient and modern. So the final question really is for all of us. What will we choose to build?